Being over my plays today, and I did have my second loss of the month, unfortunately. But it is what it is. We take losses. I have to take losses in order to keep winning. So on 8:14 p.m. yesterday, I posted I wanted this to happen. Okay, and I didn't want to hit. I said all I predicted was we're gonna hit this bounce and then fill this gap. Okay, and we did not do what I expected. So we did end up bouncing out of this gap, but as you can see, we hit just the top of it right here at 3991, and it was an old 5-minute fair value gap, and we only went 20 points off it, and we never got quite to the gap. And we also never hit buy side up here, which is kind of interesting. So the fact that we went through this fair value gap, and then we so the fact we went through this fair value gap and then we kind of dumped below this after bouncing off of it is kind of not what I'm used to seeing. Usually I would expect a bounce from this and then we hit buy side. I'm very, very surprised we just didn't hit buy side. Again, this is very weird. It's not really something that I see a lot. Usually we do hit buy side, so it's kind of interesting in my opinion. So we ended up bouncing only 20 points off this. And you can see I said so far so good. Then we ended up rejecting soon after. And that's when I posted my long setup. So this morning I posted a long setup on the 1 minute. Let me go to it real quick. So this is the 28th. And it was right here. And I wanted to long this fair value gap right here, okay? And we ended up wicking. So I play MES. And we ended up wicking like down here. So I ended up getting filled down here on ES, or on MES, I mean, and I sold for 7 points, I think. So I said scaling half for 7 points here. I got filled down here. Why did I get filled down there? Because it was the 0.705 in MES. That's where I really like getting filled, especially for these giant fair value gaps. 0.705 is really good on that. And I said stop the rest of break even, 7 points. 7 point trade, still pretty good. And I'm very surprised we never kept going up. Like I said, we were in a 4-hour fair value gap. We had a giant displacement up. We never took this liquidity right here. So again, this is just very surprising to me that we ended up dumping after this. I guess it's a weird week because it's NFP week. I guess that's why kind of ICT says not to trade this week. But again, it's kind of weird in my opinion. And then here's my loss. So I tried taking this BPR, okay, and I know exactly why I lost, but so at 12 o'clock we got this huge V shape, and I thought this was kind of a box setup, but it was not. So here's what I want you to notice. So I tried longing right here, okay, right here, and this BPR, and it just sliced right through it, okay. So why doesn't this work? Well, first of all, there's no market structure shift up, okay? I'm just relying that there's a BPR. So the BPR is kind of my only source of why I would long there, okay? And that is not enough, okay? We have no market structure. We have no market structure shift up with the displacement, which is very key, which is probably the number one thing you really need to take a setup. You need a market structure shift up or down with displacement. Technically, you don't have one down either, but I guess like we do take liquidity up here, okay, and then we do take liquidity at low day. So we took liquidity on both sides, and then what do you notice after we take liquidity on both sides? Well, now we're sitting in a range, okay, and the range is this high to this. So the fact that I took a trade sitting in a range like that was kind of my fault because we took liquidity on both sides, so that means that it's kind of neutral at this point because we took liquidity on both sides, so you can't really guess where you're going without getting kind of a market structure shift, okay? And we ended up slicing through that, so that was my mistake. I should have waited till we broke out the range, and as you can see, we broke under these equal lows, 400 equal lows, boom, pop back up, and then I think this was a higher time frame fair value gap, but we pop right back up, and then we just fall down again. We have a market structure shift here, not really much displacement, reject an order block, but we did have a nice displacement right there, and we go about halfway up to the fair value gap, as you can see. So again, that was definitely my fault. I should not have taken that setup because we took liquidity on both sides. If we took liquidity only on this side and we never hit low day, then yeah, this would have been short. And if we only took liquidity right here and we didn't have this giant wake up, then yeah, I bet you the long probably would have worked. But again, that was my mistake of going long. Literally all I had was the BPR, and I thought this was the box setup, but it's not. I don't really use the box setup, but it kind of looked like it has a V shape. But the box setup would only be if we went way under low day, then back up again. And as you can see, we did a V shape, but we never took liquidity on the V shape. So I said stopped here, and it was lunchtime. Again, shouldn't have taken trade. And I kind of show, so I actually did short on a paper account, like just for the fun of it, because I wanted to try it out because I've been practicing taking order block trades. So I actually did short it on a paper trade account just for the fun of it. And I shorted this 3-minute order block. And why did I short it? Well, we kind of went down. We didn't take liquidity on either side. So this is, again, kind of a gambling entry that ended up working. The long didn't work, but this entry did work. So, yeah, that's why. So, like, obviously, on my real account, I took the loss. But, I see why the short worked. It's kind of weird because we have a leftover gap way above. We have leftover on buy side. But, again, we're dumping all day. So, and not really what I expected, in my opinion. It was just kind of a weird day. So, I said, here, going to try long at 3972-ish. And I said, so I got in, I ended up selling, I think I market pot, and I ended up stopping here, break even, because I didn't like it, so that was a break even trade. And then I said, gonna try shorting this with a 4-point stop, okay? And this is the trade I'm currently in right now. And I said, if you want to save for entry, wait till up there. So I'm gonna show you guys this trade I'm in right now. So the trade I'm in right now, okay? So this looks like the sell model to me. So if we go to the 1 hour, it looks like a sell model. Why? Because we have the curve and then we have an obvious low down here. So what I see is I see a fair value gap right here, and then I see a fair value gap right here, little tiny one, and then I see an order block right there. So the safest entry would obviously be up here, but it's very contradicting because we also have this leftover gap. So again, they might save this for FOMC on Wednesday. Not FOMC. They might save this for the Fed speakers on Wednesday. I'm not really sure, but you can see it's very contradicting, and it's I probably shouldn't be trading this, but I'm trying my best to alert for you guys who are in the Discord. I was trying to get the 25 wins and 0 losses, but unfortunately I took the second loss today. I might take the third, and you can see on the 15-minute. My entry was in this fair value gap, okay? And I kind of waited for more of the top of it because if we draw the fib from here to here, and we draw 0.75, 0.62, 0.79. So I waited till we kind of got to this 3981 level. I did get filled a little early down here. So that's why. So that's kind of why I never entered when we got right into the fair value gap. I kind of waited a little bit because, yeah, you can see that I waited for the optimal trade entry. But I said I was going to reshort up here and average down. So I said I was going to stop out of the slide, and then I changed my mind. I said not stopping out yet. And an issue I do have with trading is I make my stops too tight. So I'm actually going to let this play out. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to get an entry up here in this fair value gap, because why is this a safer entry? Well, first of all, it's on the higher time frame. So if I go to the 1 hour and redraw a fib, look, this fair value gap right here, most of this fair value gap where I tried entering is not in premium, okay? So you can see this is the 0.5. This is not in premium, okay? This fair value, this is in premium, okay? And it's also in, and this is also, it's not really a clean fair value gap in the 1 hour. It's still the fair value gap, as you can see up here. But again, the safest entry is in premium. If we go to the 15-minute, you can see, like, I drew from here to here. The 0.705 is right at 3991. So again, there's so many good short entries. There's one right above the premium, right above 0.50, which is right here, and then there's another one right here. So it's gonna be, I don't really know if I should. I'm not gonna average down. If I take the loss here, if we go up here, I might re-enter. I'm not sure yet. Again, this is ASS, and I probably shouldn't be trading it. I'm forcing a lot of things right now, which is my fault. But I'm gonna average down if we get it here, and my stop right now is above here, so we'll see how this plays out. But even above here is a bad stop because we're probably going to end up rejecting this fair value gap anyway. So we'll see how it plays out. But the reason I kind of turned bearish is because of that higher time frame idea. It looks like the sell model. We went right through this order block. We kind of bounced off this, but this isn't really a good order block in my opinion. So it definitely looks like we're going to come down here. But my bullish thesis is there's a gap up here. There's buy set up here. So it's very contradicting. Kind of a tough position to be trading right now. But I'm trying to get alerts out for you guys. So yeah, that's kind of what I see right now. If you have any questions, let me know. It was, I wish the day went better. There's a couple short entries I missed, unfortunately. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. In my Discord, new month is starting in 2 days in my Patreon. We have 21 wins, I think, now, and 2 losses. This might be a third, but again, very high win rate. Alerts won't save you, though, so please do not join if you're not good with alerts. So yeah, we'll see what happens, and other than that, peace out.